second for you. Getting closer.
Hey friends, I'm Rachel Mack with The Garden DIY, and I'm taking over this episode of Getting Close Up, the show where we welcome all artists and creatives and get a close-up of some of our favorites and hear more about their story. Welcome to the Retro Show. Please join us as we reflect on Season 2 and see what's new since we last spoke to them. Danielle, how does it feel to be in that chair?
Well, this is our second Retro Show, so I think I'm getting used to it.
Yeah, I can tell you, these are very comfortable.
They are.
Love them. You want to check out the Season 2 highlights with me?
Let's do it, girl.
Let's do it.
That first night, it was no love. Oh, they literally turned their chairs so the backs are now to the stage and gave me the finger.
Wait, so
they turned the chairs around.
They turned their chairs around and put they back. That is the most disrespectful.
Yeah, it was disrespectful. I didn't cry.
But it's disrespectful, but you gotta respect it on that level of disrespect.
All I know is I was done. I talked for maybe 45 seconds. Tony G, who used to be on Hot 103 Jams, was the host.
What would you say was the toughest thing about putting an album together?
Features, getting everybody together, getting people to go to the studio, and again, getting people as serious as I was. Like, if you're not gonna come with that energy, you're not gonna come with that heat, you're not gonna come with no effort, you might as well stay where you at.
Right.
So if they wasn't running with us, like, you know what I'm saying, if you couldn't like mold your way in, you got pushed out. That was just how that went.
Yeah, and you even already had remixes, like, cause I tell you that Celebration
on that remix.
Now that's it. I'm not gonna incriminate myself, but if you put that song on in the morning while you getting ready to go to work, you might be late.
You might be late. Yeah,
you might be late to work. I'm not saying I was. I'm not saying I was late because I was twerking. I'm saying that you might.
Hey, like, literally, I'm so thankful for Arnett. He's the one that was shouted out by Megan Thee Stallion for doing a remix for her.
As an engineer or doing that technical stuff and then having to work with an artist.
Yeah.
What is that dynamic like? And what are some key elements to making sure that dynamic stays level?
It's the trust factor. I think kind of one of a really good example is Jimmy Iovine. We know him as the owner of Interscope Records. But
right.
Jimmy Iovine actually started as an intern, as an engineer. And then from there, one of the engineers didn't show up and just so happened to, he was just an intern at the time, but that engineer didn't show up. So they threw him in the fire. And next thing you know, that person that he linked up with helped him extend his career past that.
Noticeable and kind of poignant for me is that they don't have faces. Talk to me a little bit about the design concept and the idea behind that.
Well, I designed an artwork in 2000 with the blank faces. And in 2003, I copyrighted it. Okay, with the three faces. It was called My Three Girls. I was going through domestic violence. And I knew that I was walking around feeling blank, looking blank.
Let's go a little back. So when I worked with Revolt TV, I worked for them for like 3 years. And it was like for the Revolt Music Conference.
Oh, okay.
So I would fly to Miami, work in production, work in integrated marketing, work with talent. So, but I was already doing that. It's like when I said I worked with the Chiefs, when I worked with Nike, I was already doing that back when I was like 16, 17. So like it kind of transitions, like I can work with brands. Anybody can work with brands, So I just said I could do it myself.
And what kind of work, like at 16, 17, because you mentioned Nike.
Wow, you guys have been busy.
Yeah, we definitely have.
Insanely busy. It's great to see some familiar faces. And after watching that, what would you say is like the biggest takeaway or key takeaways from season 2?
The key takeaways for me is like talking with certain artists like Zee Underscore and Antonio J, who are like younger than my son, and seeing their drive and their passion, and they are just really out here getting it.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And they're so wise, because they want this so bad and they're going about it the right way, what fits for them. And that just stood out to me and it just kind of reignited why I'm doing this in the first place. Yeah. So I love that.
I'm so excited to be introducing my next guest. You may know her. Please welcome Zee Underscore.
Yes. Hey, y'all. Hello. I'm so happy to be here.
We're very excited to have you on. I have a couple questions for you, or a few questions. What do you think are some of the major differences in the music scene between Cincinnati and Kansas City?
Okay, so first I have to start off by giving a disclaimer. I've only been in the Cincinnati music scene for about 4 years, like since I started doing music. So that's like me living here and then going back home and doing music there kind of thing. So from what I can see in Cincinnati, I just feel like, well, I'll say in Kansas City, there's so much more space for musicians and artists of all types, whether it's space for you to join a group or a clique, whatever, join space, or space for you to make the space yourself, like how I do and a lot of other of my peers do, like just make space for themselves. There's a lot more space to be taken up here in Kansas City and Cincinnati. Maybe because it's a lot more condensed, a lot smaller. I don't think there's as much space. For artists.
Yeah, if there is one thing you could change about the current music scene in Kansas City, what would it be? That's a great segue to the next question.
Oh my goodness. I would make people more open-minded of all kinds of music, and regardless of whatever circle it's in, regardless of whatever setting it's in, I would make people more open-minded and more supportive. I feel like a lot of the times in this Kansas City music scene, we get so comfortable in our own groups that when outsiders come in, we're not receptive to it, and that's a problem to me because like I was new here, and I was that outsider who was coming into these circles with my can I cuss? With my shit, like my new shit, and people were not receptive to it, and I was just like, okay, well, I know my shit is good, so what's wrong with y'all? Like, what we doing here? And I kind of just had to like learn that that's the mindset in a lot of these spaces in the Kansas City music scene, is that if it's not what you're used to hearing, you don't really want to give it the time of day because it's just not what you're used to hearing. You want to hear the same stuff you want to hear the same. Can we talk? You want to hear the same R&B song that you hear every Monday and Tuesday and Thursday. You want to hear the same stuff, which if that's what you want, like fine, whatever. But I think in general, the music scene in Kansas City needs to open their minds, open their ears, and be more supportive of all kinds of music.
Yeah, I can agree with that. When we last spoke to you, your latest single was In the Way. Reflect on that for a moment for me, and what has happened since that release and what's been released since?
Oh my goodness. Yeah, so since I released In the Way, it's been in steady rotation on 90.9 The Bridge and KKFI. So shout out to them. I'm so grateful for them playing my song on the radio. What? My song's on the radio. What? So there's that. Since I released In the Way, goodness gracious, I've had so many opportunities to perform that song. Man, I've performed it with live instrumentation. So much has happened since I released In the Way. Since I released In the Way, like, I kind of put a little remix to it, to my live performances. So in the end, it's like it goes into like a whole another vibe, which you'll see if you catch me at any of my upcoming shows that I have. I'll plug those later for y'all. But yeah, just so much. I would just say growth and elevation overall since I released In the Way.
Throughout your interview, you radiate confidence and your passion. Where do you feel like that confidence comes from? Curious to hear your answer.
Wow. Oh my gosh. Where does this confidence come from? Where does this confidence come from? This confidence comes from starting my life over when moving here in 2020. And I always say this, but it's really true. No friends, no family, not knowing anybody. I had to turn inside. I had to turn in here and learn this girl and learn who she was and be comfortable being with myself. I just got to a point where it was like a survival tactic, I guess, like to survive and to be my most happy self, like to be the most happiest I could be. I had to love me so much because I was all I had for a good amount of time. And that, it translated into confidence. It translated into so much self-love, and I love myself so much. Yes. I think just kind of being on my own and being forced into a space where I was forced to get to know myself. That's really where the confidence comes from.
What advice do you have for an artist that is just getting started?
Oh my gosh. If any artist out there that's just getting started, if this is really what you want to do, don't stop, friend. It's hard. It's hard. It's hard. I work a full-time job and I do this artist shit too. And the artist shit is a full-time job. And I do event coordination. I do a lot of stuff. This is hard. It's hard. But the thing that's gonna drive you and keep you going is the fact that this is what you get out of it. Don't try to overthink. Don't try to do what you think you should be doing. Do what you want to do. Create the art that you want to create, and just don't stop doing that. The pieces will fall into place, friend. I'm telling you, if you don't stop doing that and do what you want to do, the pieces will fall into place. The pieces will fall into place. The shows will come. The bookings will come. The money will come. It's all gonna come. It's all gonna take care of itself if you just run off of that passion that you truly have for your art.
And my last question, what can we expect in the coming year from Zee Underscore?
Oh my goodness. Zee Underscore is releasing her first EP. It's gonna be called the Zee Underscore Experience because it's an experience. This is an experience, and it's gonna be 5 songs. I'm so excited to finally be able to be at a space in my musical career where I can deliver a package of my songs. This is a package of my songs to y'all, for y'all, from me to y'all, for y'all to enjoy. So that's going to be coming in the later summer months of 2024. I'm also performing at Boulevardia, which, oh my gosh, what? Big Frida's performing at Boulevardia. Zee Underscore is performing at Boulevardia. What? That's going to be June 15th. And then I also have just a lot of other bookings here. I'll be playing the Record Bar in May and August. I'll be playing Inglewood Arts coming up here in June. A lot of bookings, a lot of shows, a lot more opportunities for me to showcase myself with live instrumentation, which is the next level for the Zee Underscore experience. And First Fridays, which is I'll be hosting First Fridays in the Crossroads with my entertainment company, ZNTL Entertainment, and it's gonna be a whole vibe. It's gonna be giving MTV Spring Break. It's gonna be giving outside, having fun, community, fellowship, creating a platform for all the members of the community that are moving and shaking and just working to lift up this Kansas City community, period. Because like I said, there's so much talent here. We need to just
we need to love on ourselves as a city. We're the shit. Kansas City is so good. So I'm so happy to be partnering with Crossroads in First Friday so I can work to be a servant to the community, truly, and just get all the people that are moving and shaking, all the good artists that are, moving and shaking as well, to have a platform. So yeah, First Fridays, that'll be from April to September in 2024. And what else? Yeah, just stay tuned. Stay tuned. Stay tuned. If you like my energy, then you better follow me at Zee Underscore BEE1. Zee Underscore BEE1. And if you like how I sing, then y'all better follow me at Zee Underscore BEE1. That's on Instagram. That's on TikTok. My website is officially out. It's called zeeunderscore.com. I was trying to figure out if websites do like official launches or like how I should, officially launch it, but it's out. It's out. zeeunderscore.com. Go look at it. Go check it out. Yeah, that's what I got coming up in 2024.
Amazing, amazing. Well, Zee, thank you so much for joining me. I'm so excited to see what you do this year, and we'll catch up very soon. Take care. Netflix always has interesting things to watch, and I know you and Dee had some movies to watch this past season.
Yeah, we had some interesting ones, so let's check out the highlights. What I really, really love about it, it's a story about hope, it's about belief, it's about betrayal, it's about change.
It's about a Christmas. It's
It's
about a lot
Christmas.
of stuff.
It's about a lot. And they took a really interesting direction as far as like the costuming. It's kind of like what is that? Do you know the Christmas
Mad
Carol?
Hatter?
Christmas Carol.
Okay.
Like as far as like the designs and stuff and the costumes.
Oh yeah, it was the old school type of
like Victorian
curtain felt suits.
Yes, but it was also very black. And all of a sudden, she sees her fiance on the floor,
Like she done
in a
sliced
pool,
it.
like she done did something to him. And I'm like, whoa.
Yeah.
Where is
when
this
I saw
coming
that,
from?
I was like, I didn't think it was, but yeah, I did think it was gonna be like she was a undercover
Like
murderer
something was going on. But what we find out later is that she's having these intrusive thoughts and these moments of disconnection from reality because something really tragic that could blow up her entire life that she built for herself, because she's built the kind of life that she wanted.
because she's constantly reminded of it by this guy's book.
Oh yes.
So
So
we'll get into that part.
in the private school that she was going to, when you flash back to her being younger, be lying like this is not okay. The father finds out about the whole thing because, of course, she kept the baby overnight, so he's furious.
And missed baseball practice.
Pulls him out of the school and moves him to a different place. She comes and finds the baby, comes and finds him at his school, and decides to kidnap him. She done said, had a big dinner with her family.
She done got everybody sit down at the table.
Yeah, she done kissed her husband goodbye. He didn't realize it was goodbye. And packed up a whole thing, a bag of clothes for this baby.
It was real
and took
nice
him,
for the kid. Took him to where?
shows up at his school, tells him, we're going to go swimming and have some ice cream. And he's like, okay. Unlatches the thing and comes out. She takes him to the lake. They go swimming. They have a beautiful time. They go to they're in a hotel. And...
And so after he take his shower, she take a shower, and that baby locks her in the bathroom.
He locked her in the bathroom.
Today we're doing Noelle Diaries, and it came out in 22. And it is a film based off a book that's written by Richard Paul Evans. And I think it's a series of books, so I think this is one of the Noelle Diaries that we got going on.
I didn't realize it was a series. Yeah, it's a story that centers around a guy who comes back home for the holidays to settle his mom's estate, whom he's been estranged from his mom for a very long time, since he was a teenager. And he finds a diary that can help put together pieces of his past as well as those of another young lady.
Movie reviews. So we did 2 Christmas movies, Jingle Jangle, which I believe everybody should see that movie of color. And then we did 2 like real life serious movies that we did, and Danielle always picks the movie about the kids. You know, I don't really like drama with the kids, but it was one of my favorites, The Kindergarten Teacher. I would watch it again now that I know what it is, but oh, she had me in tears on that one, honey. So yeah, you can't just do that with the kids with me, because I don't play that. But Jingle Jangle, everybody should see that. I'm not saying it was one of my favorite movies, but it had a lot of my favorite people in it. But The Kindergarten Teacher was actually my favorite.
So we have movie reviews, popcorn reviews, and now restaurant reviews.
Yes, we have taken on the beast of restaurant reviews, and me and Dee love to eat, so it's been working out.
I'm with you there. So next time you guys go, I'd love to tag along.
Well, maybe you have a suggestion. Where will we go?
I'm going to suggest Piropos in Briarcliff. My favorite. It's an Argentinian restaurant. A little bit on the pricier side, but great for special occasions. And you get a lovely downtown view of Kansas City while you're eating your meals.
That
Beautiful.
sounds like a great suggestion.
Yes.
I'm going to make notes of that while we watch these clips.
So yeah, I did breakfast.
Yeah.
You did breakfast?
Yep, I did a breakfast item. Then we also ordered a lunch item, like a lunch, dinner, entree item.
But the appetizers, let's start there.
Yeah, let's start with the appetizers.
So we had deviled eggs.
Yes.
And cheese curds.
Fried cheese curds.
Y'all know how I feel about cheese.
She has feelings about cheese.
But I tried it.
And she overcame those feelings with that cheese.
I mean, they were good.
I mean, they were. They're
a little salty.
They're salty. Now, you know cheese curds. Cheese curds are already a little salty.
Definitely fresh for me.
Absolutely. I'm not a sushi person, okay? I've tried many different kinds of sushi. I've tried raw, cooked, everything, because I said, this is something I need to know. Do I like sushi or not? And I'm not a huge fan of it. However, they had varieties of sushi more than just rolls. They had nigiri.
I'm sorry, I'm going to stop you. My whole face is like, what you mean you're not a sushi person? You knew more about the...
That's because I tried really hard. And so when I want to try something, I try to learn as much as I can about it so I know what I'm getting into. Maybe.
I thought she was the professional sushi person.
No, but it's because for years I've tried. Thank you. You want to say that with filet? You want to do that?
No.
Okay, go ahead.
I had the shrimp. What is the shrimp Italian?
It was a shrimp.
I'm trying to get her to say the word because I know it ain't gonna come out right in my mouth.
It was a shrimp and polenta. It was a shrimp and polenta.
It had Italian sausage.
And it had Italian sausage on it too. And it also had like a lemon sauce.
A lemon wine sauce, actually.
Yeah, like a lemon wine broth. It was more like a broth. That was swimming. The polenta was...
Oh my God.
It was swimming in it. When I tell y'all.
It's hard for it to come out because I want to cry. It was so good. It was like Italian shrimp and grits.
It was fire.
Stop the presses.
It was fire. The shrimp was plump and juicy, and they had like little fire kiss to that too.
So much seasoning.
And it was seasoned well, and the polenta was creamy and delicious, and that lemon sauce was perfect for it. The lemon broth.
And they had a little grilled, I don't know. It was kale.
Oh yeah,
around the plate too.
Yeah, it was some kale in there.
You know,
but it all got on my fork. Like if it was on the plate, it was going in my mouth.
It was so good.
Because it deserved. Yeah.
So
we got appetizers.
We got the appetizers. We got the shrimp ceviche.
So the reason why she's laughing is because our executive producer T. Gasson comes with us to tape and film the reviews, and he was like, "So is the shrimp cooked?" And we're like, "Yeah, it's cooked." And he's like,
"That ain't real.
That's not real sushi."
But I cannot eat uncooked fish.
She cannot do it. So we're not about to put her through troubles.
Because he feels some kind of way. So
he still feels some kind of way.
Today. Even today. So
yeah,
I have to have cooked fish and seafood. I have to. Or otherwise I'd be sick and I wouldn't be here.
Yeah, she wouldn't be here. And it was delicious. It was very fresh. It was cucumbers and it had onions in it, and it had there was 2 sauces. We asked for 2 different sauces, but they didn't know what it meant.
Sorry, but I mean,
we're just gonna blame the drinks.
You're right. Blame it on the alcohol.
I enjoyed my experience there. I love the atmosphere. I enjoyed my food as well. I got full. The portions were not too much, but they definitely weren't too little.
It wasn't. And usually I take home a box.
Yeah.
I ate everything. Like I've not eaten everything at sit down in a long time. Because you don't want to get full.
No.
But I didn't want to leave nothing there.
Nope. Because everything worked so well together.
Yes.
And honestly, I would definitely go back.
When they say leave no crumbs,
Left no crumbs. Ate
No crumbs.
and left no crumbs.
we will go back. So I'm going to give it a hot.
I'm also going to give it a hot. I would definitely go back. I think the
Definitely.
prices were reasonable. The 2 meats and 2 sides.
Okay. One thing about me is I love to eat.
I love food.
Yes.
too.
So you've tried some restaurants.
Yes.
And I've heard of a few of them,
Yeah.
but I would love to get your side of the story of how these are, because I want to try some.
Okay.
Okay.
So, absolutely loved Regatta.
Okay.
And that came through in the review. Choosing to do restaurant reviews was something that, we know there's a lot of people doing it in that space, but with me and Dee's chemistry, it was like, we're going to figure this out.
Yeah.
And we love to eat and we love giving our opinions. So it just was a perfect fit.
Please welcome my next guest, owner of the Combine, Alan Kneeland. Thanks for joining me. Welcome back to the show.
I'm doing great.
Great to see you. I do have some questions I'd love to ask you since we last spoke to you. So what's been going on? And I want to start with the first one. What are some of the biggest challenges you have overcome owning a restaurant?
With owning a restaurant and a first-time owner, I've had to hit the learning curve pretty quickly. We opened up during the pandemic, so there were so many different things that we fought for with just opening our doors. But even just now, currently, we're dealing with like inflation, employee turnover, things like that. So every single day is something new for a restaurant owner, whether that be labor or just food costs. So me just being able to balance that as well as have a regular life, those are some of the biggest challenges right now.
My next question, what are some things you wish people knew about you?
Some things that I wish people knew about me. I like to have fun and I don't like being here all the time. I love being here at the Combine and I love seeing my customers, but I do have a life outside of here, and I love golfing. I love spending time with my wife and my 2 dogs. So those are things that I really love pretty much doing. And also, I am an identical twin, so if you see me somewhere in the Kansas City streets and I don't necessarily respond the usual way I do, it might be my identical twin. So.
Lovely, I love that. What has changed since we've interviewed you last?
Since interviewing me last, a couple of big things, life-changing things. In August, I'm expecting a baby girl, so that's one of the biggest accomplishments for me, becoming a first-time father. I also took on a new position with the Greater Kansas City Restaurant Association as president, so my workload tripled, but in a good way, man. I'm here to help any Kansas City restaurant or restaurateur be successful. Simple as that.
What's been the most memorable thing to date since owning the Combine?
The most memorable thing, I'm gonna have to stick with my original answer. My customers that come in here, my patrons, they make every day memorable for me. Every single day in this industry is different. And to be able to have my doors continue to stay open, working on year number 4, that's just a memory in itself, man. I hope I reach year 8 and many more, but being able to keep my doors open through a pandemic, through inflation and all of that's memorable enough for me.
Amazing. Well, Alan, thank you so much for joining me. That is all I have for you. I look forward to what's in store for the Combine and for you. Thanks for joining me.
Right? So what do you think of the Toshi Black Sesame popcorn?
I like that.
Is it hot or not?
I'm going to say it's hot. I actually do like this.
Yeah. It's fire, huh?
Yeah. And you've done more reviews of different popcorn.
Absolutely. We have several for this season, so let's check them out.
If it's anything like this, I'm excited.
It's like very seasoned. So we're going to try the Parmesan garlic. Here, bougie.
Oh, bitch, put your pinky out. Ooh.
Yes, child. It's even. It's an even garlic and Parmesan.
That's flavored.
And it still has a little pop. I would expect cheesy popcorn for it to be a little soft.
You don't even like cheese, but Parmesan.
I like white cheese.
White cheese is got it.
I like white cheese. Yeah.
No, this is good.
It
the
is.
Parmesan flavor. It really just tastes like Almost tastes like Alfredo sauce.
And look how big the popcorn is. Hey guys, it's Dee.
And I'm Danielle.
And welcome to the
Popcorn
Popcorn
Review.
Review. We doing cookie pop.
Cookie pop.
We did candy pop, but now we're doing cookie pop.
I mean, all the pops that come out with, we gon' pop them.
And these are Chips Ahoy
Yes.
cookies, the chocolate chips.
Right.
So,
And I haven't had a Chips Ahoy cookie in a very long time.
really?
Yeah, it's been a long time since I've had a Chips Ahoy cookie. I remember I used to like the red pack. Was the soft ones?
You know, I didn't like the soft one.
You like the crunchy ones?
I did.
That's usually the dividing line. You're either the red pack or the blue pack. But the flavor is great.
Flavor is awesome.
It's sweet. It's salty. It's the peppermint. It's a hint of the white chocolate. It's not heavy.
It's not heavy. It's good.
But the white chocolate gives it a very creamy flavor.
Okay,
I like that.
I guess we'll go ahead and rate it before we eat the rest.
Because we was about to.
Yeah, I'm about to go in.
I'm going to give it a hot.
I mean, even though it don't have the crunch that I need,
Yeah. Everything else kind of balances it out.
brings it together. It's not too bad. It's a good holiday popcorn. This is a great holiday popcorn.
Yeah. Yeah.
So if you want to go ahead and watch one of the movies on Netflix,
S'mores flavored popcorn.
there's one thing they should be able to do with s'mores.
One thing they should be able to do is s'mores. You show right.
Is
So
what I'm
hopefully
saying.
this turns out right. One note, this is the most expensive popcorn we've had on the show.
Ever. Not on the show. Ever. Period. It don't make no sense. Like, it got to have gold in the bottom of this somewhere.
It was costly. So if you're going to buy this, you're going to do it out of supporting the children.
Hey, this is Dee, and we're talking about the popcorn reviews, honey. So, in between, while we watching, we got popcorn there sitting. And this season, it was all kind of sweet. We had Reese's, s'mores, chocolate chip. But my favorite was the peppermint, because I like Christmas stuff, mocha, peppermint, stuff like that. But it was fun. But y'all would never know that half the time, I got a kernel stuck in my throat. And I'm here choking and dying. But Danielle kept it moving for me until I could get it out. But that's about all with the popcorn review.
So no matter how full I am from a meal, I always save room for dessert.
It would literally be a crime not to.
And of those restaurant reviews, you've also tried desserts at those restaurants.
Yes, as part of our new segment, we've been doing desserts. So
Let's take a look.
okay,
Pecan butter.
pecan butter. However you
How
say
you
it,
say it? Pecan,
we'll just say it both ways for whoever.
nut butter.
Not that way.
Bush.
Oh, nut
Okay.
bush.
Oh, look at the fluff.
It's very
It's
fluffy.
flaky.
Look at
Ooh, come on.
Okay, hold up. She dripping this stuff. I gotta figure out how to get this in my mouth. I want to get where you are.
Ma'am.
Yeah, it's a showstopper. I was like, we gotta do that one because it's beautiful.
I asked for the ice cream with the fish on top.
Yes.
Now, if it's fish in there,
It shouldn't be fish in there. Like I actually think it's supposed to have red bean paste inside, but I've never had this before, so
ma'am, if it's a fish in with my ice cream, problems.
it shouldn't be no fish in there.
We gonna try this. So you got breakfast rice, dinner rice, and dessert rice.
Well, dessert rice could
Apparently.
be rice pudding.
This is what I thought.
Yeah,
But this just rice.
this kind of just rice. I would not order it again. It does not taste bad. It's just not what I would have for dessert.
I ain't saying it tastes bad.
I
don't want rice for dessert.
And I don't think I want rice for dessert.
Hey guys, it's Dee.
And I'm Danielle.
Guess what? Welcome to the GCU dessert review.
Yes.
Now I've been a little skeptical lately for these, but I'm kind of excited for this one.
Definitely kind of excited for this one.
Yeah. So this one is the pistachio cannoli from Ragazza's.
Ragazza.
And Ragazza's is on 43rd in Maine, 4301 Maine, Kansas City, Missouri.
The chocolate taste is good, but it's not super strong. It's like a dark chocolate. Are you able to chew what you just got in your mouth? You're not able to chew. I think I'm going to have to finish this out. So get some more cream. Try it again.
Is it edible?
Oh, no. Okay. So as far as the flavor combination, it's not the worst. Even though I'm not a fan of chocolate orange.
If you get it all together, it's not bad.
There's somebody who's definitely going to like this, but the texture combination is not great for me.
But you have to keep in mind, this is like farm to table, so it's not going to have
They
a
have
lot
more
of
like a rustic
sweet
type of thing.
Honey, GCU dessert reviews. Foodie, yes. Sweets, not so much. So I pretty much let Danielle pick the desserts. Nah. I'm a big texture person, honey. And so a lot of them were I just couldn't even swallow. But then she don't get to pick the desserts no more. We're just going to have to figure that out between the two of us. But GCU dessert reviews, I think maybe my favorite one was the one with the liquor on it. Oh, yeah. Go check that out.
Please welcome my next guest, Antonio J, to the show.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, you are our very first guest of season 2.
Allegedly, I ain't gonna lie. It's been a minute since I've been here, so it feels really good to be back. I love this, the set. We got some water. I like drinking water, so yeah, it feels like home.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Water.
Hey,
Okay, I do have a set of questions for you.
I love questions.
Okay, let's get to it. If you weren't doing music or rapping, what else would you be doing?
So actually, it's gonna be a two-part. Like, I don't know, it would be like either or. You know.
Okay.
First off, like I played soccer through high school, or pretty much my whole life until like high school ended. So, and I've always loved like coaching and like helping other players develop their skills. So I think maybe I would try to like go into coaching of some type.
Yeah.
Either that or continue like teaching martial arts or something like that. I don't know. Like those are like the two things I can think of off the top of my head. But obviously, you know, music was a choice for a reason. But, you know, maybe when I retire from music, you know, I'll go do like a Coach Snoop thing, you know, just coach soccer instead.
Yeah.
You know, yell at kids whenever they're bunching up. I like that. That's a soccer reference. Some people will get it.
Okay. All right, to our next question. You are obviously very young. Was there a pivotal moment for you that made you want to pursue music fully?
So I know my whole life that I love music. That was definitely just a thing. My parents kind of instilled that in me. They're also a strong passion for music as well. And then, I don't know, there just came a point in my life where I was watching people like commit to colleges, and I knew that was just something I did not want to do. So then in my head, I was like, you know what, we go commit to the rap game, which is a crazy thing to say. And, you know, like was not excited to tell my parents, like, hey, I know, like, you know, we talked about KU and Arizona or all that, but I want to rap. But, and they were extremely understanding, but I don't know, there was just that moment where I recognized everyone was committing to one thing.
Yeah.
And I just needed that thing that I wanted to commit to, and, you know, just the passion was there. And I wanted something that I knew was going to fulfill me for the rest of my life.
And I feel like as creatives that want to pursue, like they would understand that college is not
like I just
for-
needed like like doing like paperwork or something like that. I don't know like where I would have ended up if I tried to do college, but I knew I needed like a place to get the creative juices out.
Yeah.
So yeah, super glad that music is a thing, because I'd be crazy without it.
Okay, my next question. So throughout your interview, you talked about your parents, and I want to ask, have they watched your interview, and what did they have to say?
So yeah, they definitely watched it. I think they might have been like the first 2 people to watch it, honestly. But no, they were extremely supportive. Like I love that, because my dad actually, he sent me like this paragraph, and I think I still got it on my phone somewhere. Pretty much like all the things that he liked about it, like some of the things that like not that he didn't like, but just things he was like, hey, like, you know, like I've noticed like you could probably like slow down when you talk, which is a constant critique I'm hearing. So we are going to work on slowing down my words. But no, so they're just, you know, trying to give me as much feedback as possible, and like in a constructive criticism way. And other than that, they just showed a ton of love, and you know, and just said that they were proud. So I was just, you know, really happy I could make them proud, and then also, you know, I could definitely feel the support, because they also got to show it to a bunch of their coworkers and stuff. So
Awesome.
Yeah,
Amazing, yeah. What is something that you've always wanted to try or learn?
honestly, I want to try to learn how to play guitar. So like I don't like blisters. I know like the Beatles song, they talk about like I got blisters on my fingers, and that's probably like the one thing that's made me like not want to do it. I also don't want to have like tendinitis, but at the same time, like guitar sounds so beautiful, and it just, I don't know, it looks so cool. I just want to learn. I ain't gonna lie.
I feel like that's one of those instruments that you're never going to regret knowing how to play.
No,
You could always
seriously.
whip it out, and it's going to be beneficial as a musician, as somebody that does
Especially as a
music.
producer,
Yeah.
like, just more tools in your bag and all that.
Exactly.
So, that's definitely something I want to get into. Between that or learning Spanish, yeah,
Yeah.
I'm gonna learn both at the same time, simultaneously.
They got apps for that now. Oh, okay. You have dropped your album Novella, and I was actually at the release party.
It was good to see you there.
Yeah, it was great to see. It was actually great to see so many people there to support you, and so many familiar faces, and just the community out to support you. And I was actually going to ask you what has happened since you've released that album.
So, since then, I've mostly been focusing on just getting back into the studio and starting over the creative process. Because obviously, the last like 3 or 4 months before that release party was mostly just focused on the like the mixing and like all the more tedious things, like stamping out the tiny details. So like getting back to like what we're doing today is mostly just getting back in the studio, like making some new beats, throwing around sounds, like trying to find out a new concept for what the next album is going to be, as well as planning out all the releases and just shows and all the things we're kind of trying to do this year, setting that like that roadmap for how 2024/beginning of 2025 is going to go. So it's been really cool and like really refreshing to get back into just the creative energy of it and not the the engineering side of it. So that's really what I've been up to.
That is a great segue to my next question. What is coming up this year for Antonio J?
So first off, we're going to get back into the performing. We got some shows that we getting booked. I'm still going to be helping with the garden board, helping out with the shows and all that. And then we actually got some projects on the way. So my first project that I'm working on right now is the deluxe for Novella. I'm super excited for that because it's going to be a bunch of collaboration with a bunch of artists.
Love
and
that.
it's going to be like a bunch of remixes and stuff like that. That's a bunch of bunches. But I'm super excited. And then on top of that, I got an EP called Strange Thoughts. And this is going to be like a regular rap EP, except for the names are going to be ridiculous. And there's going to be a theme underneath that I'm just, I'm going to let the people figure that out. So it's going to be fun. It's only gonna be, I told my brother about it. He told me I might be AI generated. So we're going to find out. We're going to see. But and then on top of that, one of the things I'm most excited for is we got an upcoming show for theSanctuary Entertainment called Rock the Mic, and I'm going to be the host. Rock the Mic is a talent competition where independent artists get to perform their original pieces, and I get to ask them questions, and the winner is securing a large monetary prize. It's going to be real nice. So keep an eye out for that, and I'm definitely going to see y'all there. So
Love that. That's so exciting. Yeah.
That's all I'll say. I ain't going to lie. Like, we getting in the hosting bag. We got some music dropping. It's going to be a good year. I'm not going to sleep enough, and I love it. We're going to be sleep dilapidated. Give me practice for my father in like 15 business years.
Speaking of Rock the Mic, you're rocking the hoodie, which I love. Love that design.
Got to. It's classy, sophisticated.
Yeah. Well, I can't wait. Can't wait. Wait to be part of the ride, and thank you for joining me.
Yeah. Thank you so much for having
Talk
me.
to you very, very soon.
Yeah.
Danielle, I just know this has to be one of your favorite parts of the show.
You must be talking about the game times.
Absolutely. It looked like you and the guests had a lot of fun this past season.
And did.
Let's take a look.
I'm trying to think of which Eddie would drink.
You know what? That's a good question. Which Eddie would drink it? Because he was not really ever known to be a drinker.
No.
But think of a situation where somebody got caught slipping.
So Respucia from Norbert, she don't drink, so it won't be that one, and it won't be
Not Respucia. That's a classic character.
Hakeem doesn't drink either, so
No,
it won't be
he
that
did
one from come to. But I think I got it.
Okay, you think you got it?
Yeah. Lil, I need some in my cup, Lil. My cup is empty.
No.
It's bullshit, Eddie. You and the dog, Eddie.
I would.
That
That's
good
true, he
sweatpants
does.
life of the pandemic era. That's
Yeah.
what got you.
Yeah. Oh,
yeah.
Changed your whole life.
All
Oh yeah,
right.
nothing
That's
else
fair.
is comfortable. These are brutal today. They're tight, and awful. I should have worn sweats.
I've seen you overdressed and underdressed for different things. So that's
and
why it was hard.
undressed.
Well, okay.
Moving
That's a
on.
different story.
Moving on.
It was an
It's a
accident
different game.
It's an accident. Twice.
on the toilet.
Twice accident. Okay, anyway.
I'm sorry.
Oh no.
Blue velvet, ruffled shirt down the middle, I did that.
You did.
I love me some Prince too.
Yes, same. Huge Prince fan.
No, don't bring that back.
Don't do that.
Don't do that.
But
In the
on
pants? Oh my goodness.
Why is it on the pants?
Now that's the first I think I've seen it on the pants.
That was a bit much.
I missed that one. Oh, Superfly.
My.
That's what it looks like to me.
But why was it Superfly? Was it ever Superfly? Give me a song that you would use, or you would use to overcome being heartbroken.
That would overcome being heartbroken.
Mm-hmm.
Arch your back into it and just throw it in a circle. You can bounce it, dip it, pop it. Like, sometimes when that heartbreak happens, you just gotta kind of, you know what? Do you know who you are? You know, that kind of thing where it's like...
Tell the people what song that is.
That is celebration. You know what? Why? Because you're celebrating the fact that that idiot left you.
That's right.
Because he thought he could find somebody better.
Mm-mm.
You know who I am?
Clue.
Okay.
And you'll have to give me the answer, which will be a song title.
Okay.
But then it will relate to an artist.
Okay.
And you have to also then tell me who the artist is.
All right.
All right. Let's start with the first clue. You ready?
I'm ready.
All right. Minors would be disappointed if they found this.
Minors would be disappointed if they found this.
Think about what minors mine for. California.
Gold.
Okay.
Okay. Fool's gold. Okay.
Let's go.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Artist.
Jill Scott.
Nice.
Yeah.
What song would you say is your personal theme song?
My personal theme song is The Light by Zee Underscore. I am the light shining bright right beside you. I am the moon and the stars and the fire. I am the light shining bright right beside you. Hey, yes, I am the light. It's the light.
That be the light. This light be lighting. So you are working with a new artist who you know it will be good on the track, and y'all are in the studio.
Okay.
And no matter what, this person cannot get the lyrics right. They just can't get none of the words right. They mess it up and change it every single time.
I'm out. I'm out. You wasted my money. You wasted my time.
You know what? We just talked about that.
You wasted my money. You wasted my time. I've kicked people out the studio for that. I ain't even gonna lie, bro. Did you not practice when we got here?
See?
You know we only got 4 hours, so and you just wasted 30 minutes. So half your hour gone.
All right, let's bring it back to the game time. We had some interesting answers from some of the guests that we had on season 2. So let's walk through what some of those answers were, some of those games that you and topics you came up with.
Yeah, so coming up with games is sometimes the most stressful thing stressful part of an interview.
Yeah.
Because the questions and stuff, I can figure that out. I'm like investigating y'all and stalking y'all for a few months. So I can come up with questions to ask you about what you do.
Yeah.
But the game time is, for me, a mix between what you do and figuring out a game that fits that.
Mm-hmm.
And so I got a little bit more creative in season 2. There's a couple of games that I didn't do in season 1. So I had to figure out, well, what do I need to provide T and D in order to help me with this game? And sometimes it was pictures, or maybe they had to add sound effects.
Yeah.
And I've even bought game props now because of some of these games and how they went. So I'm like, this would have gone better if I had props.
Yeah.
This would have gone better if I had something for them to write on. So it's really helped me be more creative with it. But like, for instance, with Tawana's Throw It Back or Bring It Back game, that was the first time I did one like that, because she's into fashion.
Yeah.
And, she makes her own stuff, but I'm like, well, how do I tie a game with fashion? And I said, you know what? Those like catalogs from the 60s and 70s are kind of wild, and that's kind of her era too. So let's talk about some fashions from that era and talk about what we would keep and what we wouldn't keep. And it just turned out being really, really fun and engaging, and the visual of it turned out really great. So props to T on the editing for that.
All right, Danielle, it is my turn to ask you some questions.
Oh boy.
So I have some questions here that I'd love to ask you.
All right.
Starting with, what do you feel like you have improved on from this season from last season?
Oh wow. A lot actually. Definitely my timing.
Yeah.
And fluidity. What's funny is I messed up saying that word. While I'm trying to describe how I feel like I can move better in a conversation. It's not that I'm not good at talking to people. I've always just talked to people.
Yeah.
I talk to anybody,
Yeah.
anywhere. Got me in trouble at school a lot. But
you know no stranger.
Right. Never know a stranger. But it's in the interview space, being able to bounce back and forth because you don't know what the answer is going to be.
Right.
You are trying to, you have an idea of the kind of story that you want to lead with the questions, but you are not in control of it.
Yeah.
It's really based on the conversation. And so sometimes there's moments where I find I haven't even looked at my cards. I'm just talking and we're having a conversation. I'm asking questions on that. And then I'll remember, okay, there is something specific I do want to ask about that's important to our audience. And I'll pull that in. But yeah, I feel like I've had a better flow now. I'm figuring out timing a lot better. And I just feel more comfortable overall.
I would say confidence. I could definitely tell confidence from season 1 to season 2. So,
thank you.
Yes, love to see it. Love to see it. Is there anything you would like to add to the show?
For the interview part, well, actually, there's a few things that we've started adding. In particular, there's one guest coming up in season 3 who we actually are going to have play during the interview. He has a segment where he plays a song during the interview. So I'm looking forward to that a whole lot. I'm looking forward to doing more stuff like that.
Yeah.
Figuring out the logistics of, somebody bringing in an instrument and, what do we do if we have a band?
Right.
Like we had Psycho Mismatch in here.
Yeah.
And they all brought their instruments, but we kind of couldn't really get that to work in the space right then. So we're trying to figure some other things out to be able to highlight a little bit more.
You guys got it. Got it. I mean, it's growing. You could tell everybody. It's from last season to this season, even just the setup and like the camera angles and just amazing. So
thanks.
Music will be up.
Thank you.
How do you handle stress and maintain a work-life balance?
Well, for one, we do take a break. It's not a huge break, and there is some work going on there, but I do sometimes need to have a break from constantly having to delve into someone else's life.
Yeah.
And stalk another person and come up with questions and be on. And a lot of people look at me and they think, oh, she's definitely extroverted. Like she's, I'm actually not.
Really?
I'm actually not.
I wouldn't have guessed that at all.
It's more like a 60-40 kind of split.
Okay.
But I really, too much can start to drain me, and I really like being by myself.
Yeah.
That's
how you recharge.
Being alone. And it is how I recharge, and it's how I reset my focus so I can come back out and not be a goblin. And I can, have and be on. Those on moments take a lot out of you, even though they're fun, even though it is part of me. And part of my personality, it does take a lot out of me. So making sure I get rest, making sure we take breaks. Doing things that I want to do for myself. Had to balance expectations with my friends.
Yeah.
For sure. Like, look, y'all, I'm in something right now that's going to take a lot of my time, but we're not going to be able to do all the things that we used to do, but let's set up specific things. Let's touch base with each other. Let's, get those expectations out there so people aren't hurt and disappointed.
Right.
I mean, because my friends mean a lot to me.
Yeah.
And being able to do stuff with them and sometimes by myself is very important to me. So putting up that boundary has really worked.
Absolutely. Okay. Is there a particular interview from season 2 that truly resonated with you?
I would say one of the big ones that resonated with me was my interview with Tawana Gatson. And it was because her story coming through domestic violence and coming through, very tough situation with her girls, and coming out of that, like being in such a low place and then finding herself in art and helping other people find that. I talked a little bit about that. We were going over the game times and the overview for the guests, but really it touched me.
Yeah.
That you can put all your strength and move forward and not beat yourself up so much for the past. Because I think that's a lot of the times that's what we do.
Yeah.
We think about how much time was lost and how much is behind us. But as I've learned, the past is for reference, not comparison.
I love that. Love that.
You can refer back to it for the lessons. You can refer back to it to know what to look out for. But don't compare yourself to the past, because you made it through it, so you're already better. And it just meant a whole lot to me to hear her story and her strength.
Yeah,
she's such a quiet ball of strength, and I love that too.
Now let's give a preview to the audience of what is to come for the upcoming season. Danielle, I wanted to thank you so much for allowing me to co-host with you today. I had so much fun today. I just have to say, I love it.
I have had so much fun with you as well. You are a natural. You're fun to talk to. I had a great time talking with you. And thank you for doing this.
Absolutely.
We had a long day, and you worked it out, toughed it out, and I love that for you.
Yeah.
But yes, we absolutely do have a lot coming in season 3. I'm so proud of it. I'm proud of everything, but I'm very proud of this season because it's just taking things up and over. And I also want to be able to announce that season 3 will begin airing June 7th. So you can mark your calendars, but do better than that. Go ahead and hit the notification bell, subscribe to the channel, so you'll be notified when new episodes drop. We'll be putting out promos to remind you. You can get your popcorn, get your cozy slippers on, and have a great time with us, because you already know how it is. I thank you guys for watching. I also don't want to let us go without thanking someone very special. And it's someone who's also very special to you. And that's Tanner Sutton of the Garden DIY. I can't say enough how integral the partnership between you guys and us has been in exposing us to new artists and making pathways. There's so many opportunities that's opened up, and I just wanted to make sure I gave him a shout out for that. So thank you, Tanner. We appreciate you. That's all we got today, guys. Keep up with us for June 7th. Definitely mark your calendars, hit that notification bell. New episodes getting close up, air bi-weekly on Fridays. And we'll see you again soon for another Close Up. We'll be checking for you. Bye. Hey, friends. Getting close up. Getting close up. What's hot and what's not. Getting close up. I'll be checking for you.